we've crossed, I'd say, let's say 50. Now, हमने कर लिया है and it's doing good. If you want to be successful, whatever field, you want to be consistent and committed to your journey. तो अगर आप ये दो चीजें रख सकते हो, you can do that on a consistent basis. For the next 2-3 months, you'll be much more closer to success. For webinar, we have around 80 people who join in. Conversion ratio, what we currently maintaining is a 20% conversion. So that is what I say in my webinars as well. You don't lack motivation, you lack direction.
How do you build a business very quickly, and as coaching business, especially when you don't have a personal brand per se to showcase, and how do you build that domain authority and show people that you are the best person to learn from? Welcome back to Knorish. Thank you so much for watching this video. And in today's session, we're going to talk about something very, very amazing, very close to our hearts, which is about how do you quickly start as an expert in your domain and quickly launch your business and a coaching business, to be precise. And in today's session, we have the amazing coach, Amazon FBA coach, Amar Bailey, founder of Crossing Education, who's going to take us through his journey of how he built a business, a profitable coaching business, and is today making lakhs each month from his coaching business, teaching thousands about how to build a profitable Amazon selling business in the right way, the Amazon FBA way. Welcome to the channel, Amar.
Hi, George. Hi, how are you? Thank you for inviting me here. It's always nice to be talking to you.
Thank you so much for joining in. And it's always a pleasure to always speak to you. We've known each other now for almost a year and a half, I think. Yeah. And we've had on and off conversations about what you're doing and how you're doing it. Why don't you tell us the mission behind Crossing Education?
Right. So absolutely. So the mission behind Crossing Education currently, what we're doing is we're providing education to people who want to set up and start selling on Amazon. Right. So it's been happening for the last 2-3 years. The entire world is shifting towards an e-commerce economy. People are shopping online more and more often. It started with the Prime, where they were delivering 1 to 2 day of the goods are at your doorstep. Blinkit today delivering food in 10 minutes. The shopping groceries online, which was unheard of 3 years ago. E-commerce is on a boom. So I felt during COVID that a lot of people wanted to understand e-commerce, but they were unable to do it properly and they were making losses. So they used to losses, and then they somehow used to find me, and they were making basic errors, mistake. I call them the 3 biggest mistakes you cannot make while selling on Amazon. The unforgivable mistakes, I tell them. So my simple thought is, if we can educate people the right way, there's always a blueprint of anything which you want to do. Someone has already accomplished it before. Save 7 years of education by getting that information in like 3 months if you're dedicated and have that potential to actually start a business if you do want to. Then you should actually pursue that knowledge as well. So it's me, I bring that knowledge so that people can decide for themselves if this is the right business model for them or not before they actually go, deeper.
Amazing. So how did you get started on the journey of the Amazon selling yourself?
Right. So actually it was, I've been in the industry for 15 years, been working for 15 years. I started as a corporate employee, right? So I was working with Royal Bank of Scotland and Barclays, and then I moved on to trading, retail, wholesale, manufacturing. And my journey then took me to USA. So, I was there for 6 months. I traveled around New York, Los Angeles. I was training under some of the top sellers on Amazon. They were doing $1 million of sales a month, 7-8 CR a month. And I was training under them. I came back to India. I started my own KPO, knowledge process outsourcing firm. So, we started providing services to these people in US, and we gradually got more clients from UK and then Australia. So, uske baad, after 3 years of providing this, I wanted to do another thing. So I had that thing that, there should be another side hustle, there should be another income source. So I was like, why should I also not start doing business on Amazon? So we partnered up with some of the top brands, purchased from them. And we basically, what we developed is after that, we are now actually present in 6 other states. We have 18 warehouses in partnership with Amazon FBA all across India, in North, South.
Amazing.
All 4 zones, delivering goods to customers within, to 100% serviceable PIN codes all across India. So why say, this entire journey, then came COVID. So it gave me that extra thing that I wanted to tell people about this as well. wanted to do all of this. So at that time, I came across the concepts of funnels as well. I've been in digital marketing, for like 6-7 years. Very basic, where I
Yeah.
used to tell my team ki ek post to jana chahiye. So tomorrow, if anyone were to come to my page, they would see that there are 6 years worth of posts. So ये
Yeah.
suddenly नहीं आ गया. So now we come across funnels. We're launching another funnel in the next couple of weeks. The private label which we are currently offering as beta inside the community. So iske baad we have lots of ideas for a lot of other funnels which we would want to do. So that's the game plan.
I love the language you're speaking. Funnels is my favorite language, and I'm super happy that you're already using terms like this. So let's go back a year where you were just starting out. So what was the thought process behind the webinars first, and how did the course come up with that? And now why private labels?
Right. So it all started, I think, a year and a half, September. I was actually reading that book, The 5 a.m. Club.
Yes.
So at that point in time, so I had this whole, boost of passion within me कि यार सुबह 5 बजे उठना है. So luckily that happened for a month. But what it did was it gave me a lot of perspective.
Okay.
First of all, I never thought I could wake up voluntarily for 1 month, right, at 5 a.m. Right, so that was a good thing. So अब 5 बजे उठ गए, अब कुछ तो करना है आपको. So once you've done your meditation, you've done your exercise, you've taken a walk around the park, in the market, and सब कुछ आपने कर लिया, and you've read your book as well. Still you still have to do something, so you come to the office, you read your newspaper, and then still there's so much of time. अभी सिर्फ 8 ही बजी है, right? So आप सब कुछ कर चुके हो, you're ready and everything. So now what I did was कि वहाँ से मैंने ना एक idea बना दिया of like the step-by-step blueprint of if anyone wanted to do a business on Amazon, वो कैसे करेगा. So that's day 1. फिर day 2 में मैंने record कर दिया. Again I was waking up early, so there has मतलब कुछ तो करना है. So I did a voice recording. फिर day 3, 4 में I did actually, I just like turned on the camera and मैंने यार record कर दिया. So 40-45 minutes मैंने वो पढ़ के सारा बोला, and I was like, yes, I think this is workable. 45 minutes का भी naturally मेरा निकल गया है. So this is something which we can do. So I attended a lot of I started attending a lot of different webinars. I started understanding funnels of what people were actually doing here. I came across books. So I was also a year and a half ago, I was heavily into books, reading 20-30 books a year.
Yeah.
It was sell like crazy की book मिली. So it completely changed my perspective on advertisements and how they are the biggest multipliers out there if you know how to use them. So
very true.
समझ आया. फिर I went into Russell Brunson secrets. So काफी एक learning journey थी, and this was something which I wanted to do myself because I wanted to understand digital marketing. क्योंकि आगे जाके e-commerce is definitely going to be the future. It says that 90% of all retail transactions will be done online by year 2040. So today you need to have something in e-commerce. The next is digital marketing. With the population growing rapidly, everyone now has a smartphone with 5Gs and like big screens. बंदा क्या करेगा? Online जाएगा and वो shopping करेगा online. So both places are actually at a boom, and it's good that I can link them up for people.
So even digital marketing and ads are needed to, even if you want to become a social media influencer today.
Yeah.
You need, and if you want to do it fast, you need digital marketing. So super need of the hour. So how did the webinar funnel start for you?
Right. So the same thing, I came across different funnels in books, and how you could do WhatsApp funnels, how you could do pre-recorded funnels, and वहीं पे webinar funnels भी आया सामने. So that is where it started. Right, through the books, I was like, I've also started a bit of competitors. So वहाँ से भी simple समझ आ रहा था कि the webinar funnel is going to be a good bet to start with.
Yeah.
And that is where I started. And now we are now launching a recorded webinar as well. So that will be the private label which we were talking about earlier as well.
Yeah, nice.
इसका recording में हमारा वो चलेगा. So the person, they can see our ad. They wanted to build a private label business, or they want to sell their own brand on Amazon. They can see our ad. They will come to a landing page where it's going to be a free video, 30 to 35 minutes. 45 minutes training video, which I will do. If they want to see it, they have to provide me their name as well as email ID. So then they get access to that. And at the end, they will have that opportunity, limited time offer that, I can, I'm not just giving them the private label blueprint. I'm also here to provide them mentorship for 3 months. So that is,
Nice.
so they'll also be joining my weekly master classes, right? So
Amazing.
that's the game plan. तो इस हिसाब से हमने वो plan करा हुआ है in the next coming weeks.
So if I were to break it down for everybody watching this video and try to basically help people understand the maths behind it. So you have a webinar which basically is a recorded video or a video sales letter or a recorded webinar, but it's watch your video ads or look at your image ads on Facebook or Instagram or Google, wherever. Click on that, show up on a page that talks about uh, private labeling as a business opportunity. So they will sign up on Knorish, basically give you their name, email ID, and probably WhatsApp number.
Right.
Watch the video. And that 30 minutes training video, then what will happen? So are you going to send out email marketing? Are you looking at WhatsApp marketing? Is there a team that will call people? What will happen?
Right, so we do have a team. We have Vati in place for WhatsApp automation. We have MailerLite for email automations.
And
So वो तो सारा हम अपना वो script writing हम करेंगे. तो nurturing will definitely be happening from the email side plus the Vati side as well. Plus what we also do is like, so the current funnel which we're doing about selling popular brands on Amazon. So that's weekly webinar, live webinar, which we currently do. So that happens every Saturday. So it's tomorrow, right, at 11 a.m. Right. So usme kya hota hai that, the people, that is not a free webinar. So that is a paid event. Your advertisements, and I tell them how they can do a business on automation by selling popular brands on Amazon. They come to the landing page if they like the content there. So we have a video, 2 minutes video there. So if they like what they see, if they like the write up, if they feel that this is something which they would like to see, so that they come to the webinar. Basically, what I understand webinar is it's a mini demo where the person can choose to decide and make an informed decision that if this is the right business model for them or not. So instead of just directly purchasing something, right? So we have that route. Plus, it's a paid so that we can understand that the person has that intent and the means to make a payment later on as well. So because again, it's a it's a secret business formula about selling popular brands.
Yeah.
We do not want to give that away just like that. Only the worthy will be able to actually go through and start doing their business. So that is what I say to people as well. If you want to be successful in whatever field, you want to be consistent and committed to your journey. So अगर आप ये दो चीजें रख सकते हो, you can do that on a consistent basis. For the next 2-3 months, you'll be much more closer to success. So, prevent yourself from getting burnt out, and then just pace yourself, make habits which will help you progress.
So then my question really is, so let's boil it down to the number. I know that this will be typical for people, different for different people, but how much are you spending? So you're doing 4 webinars a month, correct?
Yeah.
So how much are you spending on ads per week? And basically, what is the number of attendance because it's a paid webinar? And then from the paid webinar, how many upsells are happening? And ultimately, what's the end result of the revenue generation?
Yeah, so I think per webinar, we have around 80 people who join in. The conversion ratio, what we currently maintaining is a 20% conversion ratio.
Oh, very nice.
So we started with the 10% one, and we did a lot of changes to our funnel as well. When we started providing personalized calls to people when they were joining in. So they get a welcome call from us, and then they also get a reminder call before the webinar, and then they get a feedback call. So they're much more immersed in the entire journey, and they understand that we also care. So, so we provide that support as well. So about, let's say we are spending 3 lakh per month on advertisements.
So that's roughly about 75,000 rupees per webinar per week.
Right.
And then you get 80 people to show up in the webinar. So I'm assuming webinars have a really high attendance rate. So I'm assuming you target 100 people to sign up.
So see, matlab jaise 80% is the turn up ratio which we try to maintain.
Oh, 80%? Okay, interesting. Yeah.
हम try and maintain करते. We also, what we do is we re-invite people these webinars if they
that's smart.
attended.
Yeah.
We give them that opportunity as well if they want to attend without being anything extra. If they missed their previous events, right? So they have that opportunity to do this as well. Sometimes there are people from last year, they could not pursue this at that time they would now want to join us, so we allow them to join as well.
So if you're spending 75K or let's say 3 lakh rupees a month,
This is something which we recently scaled up to, right? In last 2 months, अभी हमने we've scaled it up to this particular. तो काफी हमारा जो spending है 30% has been scaled 30 to 40% in the last 2 months ever since we started Google Ads as well.
Interesting. So that's a very interesting statement that you made, that you've not really abhi theek hai, at let's say 40,000 I'm getting a certain X result. Let me just start putting in 1 lakh rupees arbitrarily and then I'll get 2.5X return. Aisa nahi hota hai. So that's a very smart strategy that you have done, that you've slowly increased the budget 10%, 10% or 15% like that, and slowly increase. And that's a very smart way to do it, because we have also realized that when you suddenly increase the budgets, the ads may not really perform as they were earlier. So you have to have a stronger control on those ads. So
that is what I was informed as well, ki ads बढ़ानी है 10 to 25% is the ratio percentage which you have to maintain while increasing that ads.
Yeah, and that's very smart. So would you like to share the number on a monthly basis? What's the revenue you're generating?
See, we are doing 2.5x हमारा भी जा रहा है.
Oh, amazing.
We were able to do 3x as well, about जितना हमने ad में डाला था, extra आया. Then we figured out a very good friend in GST as well. So
very important.
Yeah, so we met that friend as well. Because we've been into business with products. So products make your every week, every month you're making lots and lots of purchases. So there's a credit balance which is continuing to go on in GST.
Yes.
It's like, there's no credit balance all of the time being used up. So we met that friend as well. So yeah, so it's been going good.
So the 2.5x number that you're talking about is that's all inclusive without the GST calculation, correct? And that's later.
Overall,
yeah, exactly.
I've gone into my Excel really deep and I've calculated the with, without, and all of those as well. So this is the basic overall number that which we are maintaining.
But that's important also, because here in India, at least with GST getting activated pretty extensively, so that's a cost that people have to also accommodate in their business. With the
6 GSTs. So we are present in Delhi, Haryana, Maharashtra, Karnataka, West Bengal, and Tamil Nadu.
For your e-commerce business.
All 4 zones.
Yeah.
GST, so we are already maintaining that.
So so I understand that you're teaching people the secrets of Amazon FBA, right? And you've been doing it for a year and a half. So how many people have you been able to help? How strong is your community? Are you doing something for community, and how is the community helping you?
Right. So we've recently found that, the community was like something which they also, wanted us to have. So we created a Telegram group. Still trying to discover, and we'll start and do an offline event in the next coming, in this coming quarter, so that everyone can get along. So we have a very strong community as well. Like, for example, the partner of Ernst & Young is 50 years old. He's part of this community with his wife. So,
interesting.
Right. So there are Bank of America ka AVP, AVP of JSW Steel, Mrs. India Universe 2018 Asia Pacific. She's part of the community as well. There are people from Army, Air Force, people from all over the world now, actually from Australia, Canada, Europe, as well as North America. So everyone's joining in, and now we're trying to create that vibe that, it's not just only on Amazon, but let's network together, let's understand, get to know each other, and, let's build that community where we are doing a lot of collaborations. So that is what I really want the community to be doing, कि यार वो साथ में collaborations करें, partner up with people here and there, so just grow overall.
Do you think the such people have of such designations have joined the community is also a function of the pricing of your course?
Yeah, so we're possibly planning to increase that even further, right? So
interesting.
Yeah, because currently what we are also doing is like, we have been launching the private label. And doing that in the master classes. So what we are also doing from our end for the community is that we're offering them the private label free upgrade. Right? So usually a lot of people out there, they're like, कि अब हमारा new चीज आई है, सबसे पहले हमको community से पैसा लेना है. Right? So, that is what I am doing for all the community members. I am going to give them the private label free upgrade. So there are, if you sell products on Amazon, there are two ways of how you can do it. And both of these are absolutely evergreen business models. Wherever there is Amazon, these two methods will work, with no exceptions, until and unless you're not doing it correctly.
Yeah.
One is when you partner with popular brands, purchase from them, and become a reseller for their products on Amazon. The same there you have to just tap in and understand. The other is when you want to start your own brand and you want to launch it on Amazon as your own private label.
Yeah.
Basically, so both of these, kahin pe bhi aap jao, these work the same way. So ab mera kya hai ki, if anyone truly wants to do this, if they're consistent and committed, they have no excuse, because I'm also coming on a weekly basis in master classes without fail for the last 1 year. Ki aap how karo, so then it's truly humbling as well. Like kabhi, the people, when they reach out, they're like, we want to touch your feet because we've been able to start this business, and we've been generating sales on a daily basis, and I've generated 55,000 in the last week. It wouldn't have been possible because if you say it's humbling that people are actually benefiting from them. And truly speaking, अगर कोई webinar ही मेरा देखे जो 3 mistakes मैं बताता हूँ, वो पहले से ही समझ ले, they can actually literally end up saving lakhs of rupees in doing something wrong. So yeah.
I think the business or the field of education and coaching is, the impact that you create is powerful. I think that's even more powerful than the amount of money you make. Money is great, but that feeling of sense of achievement and a sense of purpose really drives the people really well. Initially, when you started out, I think the plan was webinars and then the first level course. Typically, what happens is people then say, okay, fine, if you want to learn further, go ahead and sign up on my level 2 course, which will dive deeper into the program. So if you want to, let's say Amazon FBA, it will teach you even more in detail. You reach 1 lakh rupees as a revenue, now get to 10, 20 lakhs. Right. So how did private label come and not the level 2 course?
See, I'm also like, on the process. I'm like on an adventure myself. I want to explore e-commerce. So मेरे को भी क्या करना है कि it all started, let's say 13 years ago, a decade ago. I was working with Marketplace. That is when I first came across e-commerce. I am very fond of art. So मेरे को ना अपना art का e-commerce store करना था. So I had tied up, so at that time Myntra was selling t-shirts. कि आप अपने design भेजो, हम बना के आपको भेजेंगे. So it was like, at that time, so I was working with the UK economy. तब मेरे को समझ आया कि e-commerce is सब कुछ. Everything is going to be e-commerce. So I wanted to do something online for myself. So मैंने art में गया. So Vincent van Gogh, Picasso, all of these. So क्या होता है art में कि after a certain period of time, the product, the art goes into public domain and can be freely reproduced.
Yes.
So it's no longer, you're not...
It's royalty free now. Yeah.
And so अब मैंने क्या करा? So I was fond of art. So we made a collection of 1,000, 2,000 different kinds of paintings, which are freely which can be reproduced. And then हमने China से partnership करी मैंने. I found a supplier there who could provide us that art. Then I found a supplier near, where I live. So they had a big, huge art warehouse, and they had a collection of huge artists. उनसे भी हमने partnership करी. I launched that entire thing, and सब कुछ मैंने setup करा. Website भी बनाई हमने. At that particular time, it cost me 40K. 2-3 महीने लग गए बनाने के लिए. But once it started, I had no idea how to market it. Right. So, हमने अब कर दिया. So at that time, I felt if there was someone out there who could actually show me the way कि मेरे को next क्या करना है. So मेरा क्या था, I had that thing यार कर लेंगे, कुछ भी है कर लेंगे, but करना क्या ये नहीं पता था. Right. So, that is what I say in my webinars as well. You don't lack motivation, you lack direction. जो the amount of energy which we can create in our webinar. So I just tell them आपको direction की कमी है. This is one direction which I can show to you. कि अगर आपके लिए सही है तो आप चलो. So सफर में धूप तो होगी, जो चल सको तो चलो, सभी है भीड़ में, तुम भी निकल सको तो चलो. So that ways we tell the people and they want to achieve success. So वहाँ पे going back, I want to be that person. अगर किसी को help चाहिए, so what I want to do what I can from my end, क्योंकि उस टाइम पे मेरे को वो help नहीं मिली थी. That is very nice, and it's a good way that all these coaches and people, they're coming out, they're divulging information which so readily not be available. Yeah. Also, it's also like, a lot of people also told me not to do it because, it's obviously कौन अपना business blueprint reveal karta hai. So, but yes, at the end, you come to a particular time when you understand that you want to give back to the society. And that is the only true way forward. जितना आप help कर सको, जितने ज़्यादा लोगों को help कर सको, it's going to be much better for you and them as well.
So, what's the next step with the private label? When is it launching? What are you planning to do with it? What will be the funnel that you will use to grow that product?
So we will also start. We will be launching it in the next 2 weeks, right? So uske baad we can also do a 2-in-1 funnel. Popular brands will continue to run every Saturday.
Yeah.
So we can start, so there were multiple different ways of where I was thinking of how to launch private label. I was thinking of doing it as a 2-day marathon, that on every Friday they will get my 30-minute recorded video
Okay.
private label, and on Saturday they can meet me live and I can teach them about popular brand and offer both of them dual, programs to them for the price of one, and increase the price slightly. So that is something which we are pondering and thinking about as well. Or maybe we can do it as a standalone private label where it's running through, recordings and on automation, and it's nothing to do with popular brands. But maybe later on we can do it as a dual. So अभी हम देख रहे हैं, अभी starting में for private label as well, I want to do a few live sessions.
Yeah.
Understand that 30-45 minutes. Just directly putting that demo out there and running. मैं चाहता हूँ कि 2-4 बार मैं वो भी करूँ, because when we also started doing our webinars in the last 1 year, it has completely changed. Right, so we started with 3 secrets. Now we're revealing 6 secrets. Right, and so काफी हमने change भी लाए हैं in the webinar and the way it's delivered and the way we've altered the funnel to create that amazing customer journey throughout that funnel, so that they enjoy every minute of the time which they invest with us. So we're offering them magazines, we're offering them ebooks as well, which they can go and consume at their own pace. So तो काफी उनको भी help हो जाती है इसमें.
So how is this content distribution happening? Through emails, through WhatsApp, all of it?
Yeah, so emails and WhatsApp both, we have our links. So Vati पे भी चले जाता है. Then email, the entire sequence which we have created through Pabbly Connect. So notification आएगा, they'll get that email, they get that sequence of messages on Vati and then before the webinar, and then they'll get a personalized call. 2 personalized calls before they attend the webinar, and that is their initial interaction where they begin, understanding what we do, what our company does, and people who are truly invested and interested can actually, follow and get a good experience and do something for themselves along the way.
Amazing. So how many emails do you have in the email funnel there?
Yeah, so अब definitely मतलब हर चीज के लिए हमारे पास different email campaigns we're running.
Nice.
So we have a separate email campaign which is running for people who are registered for the webinar but they've not attended the webinar till now. There's a different email category. There are people who have registered for our ebook. के लिए अलग campaign चल रहा है. There are people who attended the webinar. They have a separate campaign, and there are people who are within our community. So different हमारे segments है. सबके लिए there is a different nurturing sequence just going on through emails. So
and the same thing happening on WhatsApp as well.
Yeah.
And the same thing is happening on WhatsApp as well.
For WhatsApp, so अब Telegram पे भी हमने डाला हुआ, so community members we regulate via Telegram. Right? जो भी important information देनी, plus we have our broadcast WhatsApp.
Yeah, exactly.
तो अब जो हमारे पास separate numbers है, तो Vati जो हमारा है, that is running separately, and that is for the webinar people.
Amazing, because we just did a session maybe last week or a few weeks ago where we spoke exactly about this. That people think that कि अगर webinars चल रहे हैं तो webinar ही करते रहो, उसमें ही they'll be able to do it, and that is true. But ultimately, if you want to grow, you can't depend on one funnel. You will have to implement multiple funnels. Look at your customer journey, whether they are leads, sales qualified, or ready to buy or not, and based on that, set up these email marketing or WhatsApp triggers and encourage and nurture, and then eventually convert them. So I really love the entire map here. How many people besides you are helping you manage this whole thing?
So I think there are 4-5 other people as well in our team. So all of them together, they contribute, and we do the content and we do the community management as well. Right. Plus manage everything on the back end.
Amazing. Because with that, So you have gone to a stage where you now have these 4 5 people helping you. You see, and so many people who are managing this entire thing. What you're speaking about? We just maybe 2 or 3 people, and then they have outsourced the video editing part because they're also doing social media quite heavily.
Right.
So they're getting it done through Fiverr at very low cost and all that. But permanent employees are just 2 or 3 maximum people, and this is like a 50 lakh a year business. So
Absolutely.
so the scalability is amazing at a very small scale, small stage.
Seriously, I also now have a plan where I've come up with 10 other funnels,
Amazing.
10 other funnel ideas, which I would want to do in the coming year. So,
For example, would you like to share some?
right, so we are basically inherently a KPO, right? We're a knowledge process outsourcing firm.
Yes.
I want to extend that thing out in UK and US as well, where I want to provide outsourcing services to people out there who want to start doing business and want to outsource their work to someone in India who can do and provide them better services. Right? So that is something which we're planning to do in the servicing area and promote that. So उसके बाद भी हमारे पास digital, we have a lot of mini courses which we are also developing side by side.
Okay.
We may be offering as a membership to people on a regular basis, right? So बहुत सारा content उसमें अभी we are not doing too much of YouTube, but through these funnels, right? Keep you and then the services which we can provide. So that ways ऐसे 10 different type की चीजें हैं. So अभी वो initial stage पे, so I just want to figure things out,
Yeah.
in the near future. मतलब I'll see how there's too many ideas.
Yeah. Execution is key. Yeah.
मतलब वही मैं भी सोच रहा हूँ कि यार एक 1-on-1 mentorship funnel भी होना चाहिए, right? तो जो KP वाला भी मैं बता रहा था, so that ads will run in US and UK. Biggest mistakes people make while outsourcing.
Yeah.
Right? Click to know more. So they come, they watch my educational video, but they provide me their email ID and name first, and then they watch that 30-minute video जो हमें sales call में convince करना होएगा बंदे को. They can get the understanding of what outsourcing is, how we can help them.
Yeah.
इसके बाद we can do a high ticket funnel. So the idea of the KPU is to do a high ticket funnel where I qualify the leads that why should we work with you? आपके पास ऐसा क्या है? So you have a minimum budget of let's say $1,000 to give us on a recurring basis on a monthly tenure तो आपके पास है. Then you reach out and then we do a 2-way game where we get in touch with them, understand their requirement, and then the second person comes and closes the deal. तो इस हिसाब से जो KPO वाला भी है, हम ऐसा I'm planning to do a high ticket thing.
Very true. We call this the 4C model, where the 4Cs are content, which is for lead generation, and then courses, coaching, and finally consulting. That's really what you are setting up for yourself here. So amazing. Great conversation. Just one final question. Just 2 questions, actually, if you don't mind sharing. One is, would you like to quote a number of how much revenue you've generated in the last 365 days, last 1 year?
We've crossed, I'd say, let's say 50.
Amazing. 50 lakhs. I was not expecting that.
इतना हमने कर लिया है and it's doing good. तो अभी मतलब idea अब यही है कि इस पे that is where I started my my journey on e-commerce as well. जब मैंने I started selling popular brands. That is where I started in 50 on the first year. इतना ही था, and within then 2-3 years I was able to scale that to 4 CR.
Nice.
And I was able to automate that entire thing. That जो हमारी team है, they are automatically doing this entire business. And I basically I don't even give 5 to 10 minutes a day, and it's all being run on automation. तो इसी तरह से इसको भी ये वाले भी funnel को I want to get actually dive deeper and deeper, but चीज यही है कि इस वाले को 4 CR में the journey will be tremendous.
Love that. One final question. How has the journey been, and what is your experience with Knorish so far?
So Knorish has been really good. We had multiple options and teachable and everything, but you were offering along with this Zoom session, and that was something which we wanted. And then we started working with you. We met you as well. It was a very nice experience, and all throughout, you've always been there, and Shivam has also been there in order to assist us whenever we needed that help. So it's, thanks to you as well. It's been a very good, pleasant journey so far.
So that's all for today. So thank you so much for this amazing session. It was a pleasure speaking with you. Amar, always golden nuggets whenever I speak with you.
Same here. Amazing talking to you, George, as always, and looking forward to more, interactions and collaborations with, Knorish and
Yeah.
you as well in the coming future.
Absolutely. I'm always available. Thank you so much for this time. And thank you everybody for listening in. We'll see you next time.
Cheers. Take care.
Bye.